Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be doing um, part 2 of how to build Slogo Worldwide headquarters, which will include the second floor, and I think that'll probably be it. It'll be a shorter episode because you kind of see it's not very detailed, but guess we'll just get into it. Okay, so to start, you're gonna grab the smooth quartz blocks and white stained glass, and you're just going to repeat what we have for the first floor where it goes inwards. You're going to repeat that, but inverted. So where these are here, you just bring these straight up. Okay, so now that you've got that, make sure you filled in all the glass too. And don't do the straight up and down sections because that's just for the ground floor. The rest of this tower is just going to be in and out, just like that. Um, what you can also do is you can do the smooth quartz ceiling just to get it over with because you'll have to do that anyway. And if you do want to like make the skeleton of the rest of the building, it's just going to be these two floors repeated one, two, three times. So you go in three times, out three times. So it's a total of like six floors plus the ground one. I'm not saying it. I don't care. Okay, so once you have all this like basic floor done, you're going to want to get out red carpet, red concrete, red wool, smooth quartz block, glowstone, spruce trapdoor, a spruce sign, and soul sand. And you're going to come to where the water's coming up at the elevator here. And right to the left of it, I could have said that better. To the left of the elevator, you're going to come up with the smooth quartz right next to it, and then you're going to come out three more from that. Four more, sorry. You don't need the fourth one, that's not really seen, but you can if you want. And then from here, if you don't have the fourth one, just go diagonally. If you do have the fourth one, just come out by two. Then you go with three red carpet, then just continue the wall around the same way. It's just symmetrical. So two, and then the wall going all the way back. And then on these three smooth quartz right next to the right side of the wall, you're going to break the floor and replace it with soul sand. Then you're going to replace at least this first row with red concrete, as far as I can tell. And then, okay, so you're going to place carpet, basically. So on the red concrete, you're going to skip the water, place carpet, skip the hole, place the carpet, skip one, place the carpet, and don't place one in front of this soul sand. And then just this 2x7. Yeah. And the 2x7 you just fill in with carpet. Then for the elevator, you're going to three blocks forward from the wall. just next to where the elevator is, along the soul sand too. Just like this. I'm not describing it very well. I'm a bit tired. I just woke up. Um, yeah, you just do this. It should be like three walls of quartz in between the two larger walls we did. And then you're going to bring this up to a total of 8 blocks, I believe. I know for the ones next to the elevator, it's going to be three, just three. And then the ones that stick out go a bit higher than that. Okay, so you're going to bring these outer walls up to a total of 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you're just going to bring the ones on the outside all the way up to this. Don't do the ones on the inside because I need to check. Some of them might be glass. Okay, so now from the fourth one up in front of the elevators, you're going to go over with another row of quartz like that above the elevators. And you bring that all the way up to be in line with the rest of the walls. Okay, so for these ones next to the elevator going into this floor, you're only going to want it 5 blocks tall. So 2, 3, 4, 5 right there, just for those two. And then this middle wall here, the middlemost wall, so you should be 2 in on each side. The back 2 are going to be glass just starting from the floor. So like that. Then you're going to use glowstone on the 5th wall, or the 5th block up on the walls next to the elevator. You're going to place glowstone like that. And then these walls next to these elevators, they do come all the way up. Like this. And now you're going to take your red wool, and on the elevator that's going down to the ground floor, you're going to place a wool above the doorway, just like on the little overhang we have. And then 1 block away in front of this opening here, you're going to place another red wool. And then this ceiling, you're just going to fill in just to in between the walls. Don't go any farther because all that's going to be more tutorial. And then at the top here, you're just going to place a row of spruce trap doors and flip them all open so they're against the wall like that. Then on the right side, where the soul sand is, you're just going to do the same kind of trapdoor thing we have for down here. It's just like on the wall and then on the floor. Just like that. And then you're going to use your spruce signs, and for the left, on the left wool block, the leftmost if you're facing towards the back, you're going to place a spruce sign that has capital V on the first line. Then the second line is going with capital G, and the third line is down with a capital D. Then for the second wall block, you're going to place a spruce sign with a row of dashes. Then in all caps on the second line, no. All caps on the third line, entrance. And that is entrance spelled wrong. It's entrance. There's an extra E there in between the T and R. And then a row of dashes on the fourth line. And that's kind of the entrance for the elevator. Done. And actually, you could probably bring all these walls up all the way to the ceiling. Don't worry about that hole. That's just so I can get back and forth between the other build and this one easier. These you can bring all the way up because the elevator. Just these two on the right. Just because they will be going all the way up, like I said. I repeat myself a lot in case you couldn't tell. Okay, so now we're going to continue down the hallway. So each of these walls on the side, they should extend forward to a total of 7 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. And then these come all the way up to the ceiling height. Then for the carpet, you're just going to bring the middle one forward all the way, just the middle one, and then you're going to bring it out one more. Then on each of the walls, you're going to come out by a block and then connect that forward to the glass. And that's, of course, all the way up to the 8 blocks from the 4. And I guess for the last part, you're still going to need the carpet, but I have to see how it is over there. But for now, 2 blocks away from the first and third, just on the outside of the middle, you know, a space of 2 blocks and then another carpet there and there. Okay, so now what you want to get out is smooth quartz, white stained glass, redstone lamp, glowstone, barrel, oak leaves, red carpet, and acacia doors. And where each of these carpet is sticking into the wall, you're just going to place an acacia door facing away from the elevator. And then above the acacia door, you're going to place a glowstone, replace the smooth quartz with a glowstone. And then next to it on the wall, just the second block up, you're going to replace with white glass, like that. And then, I guess we'll do this because just to get out of the way. So on each of these corners in the bigger bigger section of the hallway, you're just going to place 4 barrels. They're like the potted plants on the first floor with the 2 oak leaves above them. Just like that on the corners. And actually, you should be able to find it pretty easily. So you're going to come to the middle 2 on each of the walls. You're going to break out and make a 2x2 door in each of those. And then next to them is the glass, like before. And then above is the glowstone. And for the ceiling, we'll finish up the ceiling now. So just in front of the bigger section, you can place a row of smooth quartz. And then you can bring that in one more. So you have a single row of not quartz. You just have a single empty row in the ceiling because we have to do the redstone lamps in a specific pattern. So you're going to come, probably be easier to do it this way. So you're going to come 3 blocks from the elevator. So 3 blocks out from the elevator. Then you're going to place a redstone lamp, skip 1, redstone lamp, skip 1, or redstone lamp, skip 1, redstone lamp, skip 1, redstone lamp, quartz, redstone lamp, quartz, redstone lamp. And then you should have a quartz coming to the window. And you should have a total of 7 redstone lamps. Okay, so now you're going to want to make sure you're inside the hallway area that we built. And you're going to bring your carpet forward by 4 more, 5 more. So that's 2 blocks away from the wall. And then you're going to just make a 3x5 area so that just the corners are touching the barrels next to the entrance. Then at the end on the wall, you're going to place a blue wool with blue stained glass above it, then a spruce trapdoor above that, and then a tripwire hook on the wool, like that. And then last you'll need yellow and black concrete. We'll start from the single door offices. So you're going to want to just open all the doors because you'll need to get into all of them. So starting from the first 2, you're going to come on the bottom floor, or the bottom block is going to be yellow, like that. And it's just going to be around a 1 block area on the, just behind the door. You're going to leave this block, and then around it will be yellow. Then on top of it will be black. And then right behind the glowstone will be yellow. And you're going to do that on both sides. Like that. And I'll show you how to do all the signs. So I'll show you what all of them should say. Then you're going to do a similar thing for both of these double offices, but you're going to have to, you won't do all yellow on the bottom. You'll do the first 2 is yellow, and then the second 2 is black, like this. The yellow should be closer to the elevator. And then you just alternate. And then the ones on the ceilings are going to alternate again. So above the black is going to be yellow, above the yellow is going to be black, and that's behind the glowstone, like this. And then you're going to do the same thing, but it's reflected, so the yellow is still closest to the elevator. So just around like this. Black above the yellow, yellow above the black, yellow above the black, black above the yellow behind the glowstone. And that should be the main part of the offices done. You'll just need oak signs, and I'll show you what each of them should say, unless you want to do your own thing. Okay, so we'll start with the one that we're going to be using a lot of. You're going to have 6 total of these, so what I recommend doing is if you're in creative, you can just place 1 and then hold Control and middle click, and you should be able to pick it up. It should be on both Bedrock and Java, from what I remember. So for this one, you could do a line of dashes on the first line, and the second one is offices under with O and U capitalized. Then the third one is development with the capital D. And then the last line is dash Slogo Worldwide dash with S and W both capital, just like this. And that's going to be on the black concrete for the single floor, or the single door offices, and then for the double doors, I'm just going to do on both of the second block up, like that. Unless you want to type it all out, you can. Okay, so we're just going to go down the hallway. So on the right side, the single door on the right side coming from the elevator is going to be Tim's office, which you're going to do a line down and then Tim. Because Josh always does a line down with a lot of his signs. And then on the left side coming from the elevator is going to be Isabel's office with just one L. There's a lot of different ways to spell Isabel. It's just Isabel. And then going forward to the next pair of offices, you're going to want a sign that just says offices, and you're going to place it on the rightmost block whenever you're facing toward the office. So it's just like that, and it is one line down. And then on the right side is going to be Sophie's, like that. And the left side is going to be Richard, like that. Oh, and I guess for the elevator, we'll finish that up. So you'll just need a water bucket. For the one that says do not or no entrance, you just place the water at the floor, just like on the first floor. And then for this one, you should probably break these three up here, like that. And then you just got to fill this whole thing with water. And I think that should be it. Let me fix all the stuff I did to see easier. Oh wait, last thing. The three rows of glass that were on the first floor, they just come up to be in level with the floor there. Sorry, I was just checking to make sure nothing else got broke. So yeah. So it should just come below the wall, like that. The glowstone doesn't come up though. It's still a block lower. And now you should be done. This should just be what you have. This is the shorter one, just because I'm starting to get a bit sick. That's fun. This is just a shorter tutorial, just because it's an easy floor. But you should now have a total of 3 floors, which is good. And then next episode, we'll do the penthouse, which I don't want to break it into 2 episodes, but based on how long it took us to do the first floor, I don't know. I probably won't break it into 2 episodes, but here's a tour of what we'll do. So, starting from the elevator, um, we got the table over here, and then barrels, kitchen area, going to the bedroom, and here's a little storage area. And there's the bed. It is built in a weird way where quartz is your pillow. And then that's not supposed to be 3, that is just 2. You'll see in the next episode. Here's the toilet and the shower, which does work. Just doesn't immediately close. And then you don't have to flip them up to stop the water. Josh did in his tour video, but you don't have to. And then upstairs, here's the screenshot I wanted to post on Reddit that would not post. I don't know why it kept getting deleted. But yeah, that's the game area. And then the living room area. And that's the penthouse. So we'll get to that in part 3. So like I said, if you wanted, you could do the other floors as a skeleton for the floors, just to have it out of the way, because it is just going to be repeating this for each episode of this that I'm doing. So you are just going to be repeating this a lot. I'm not going to do the whole thing now. I'm just going to get the start of it to show you how it should be, how it's going to be. I said in the first episode it gets tedious, and hopefully you'll start to know what I mean by now. And if you're watching these immediately after each other, as they've all come out, then you'll be extra tired of the shape. Like I was when I built it then. Well, yeah, I am working on the Squid Island version. It's not as tall, as you can tell. It's a bit shorter. I just have a bunch of glass to fill in, which is very, 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 very fun. It's also not as I don't know. The Borgco Tower isn't as nice as Slogo Worldwide. That's just my opinion. It's because it uses iron. I know that's more of an available resource, and it was actually made in survival. And the Slogo Worldwide was creative, and I know how hard smooth quartz can be to get. If you saw my video touring my friend's realm on when I showed off the house that I built off Rizdial's tutorial, smooth quartz is very annoying to farm because you only get 1 block for every 4 quartz you have, and you have to smelt it one by one, and you can't use a blast furnace. You have to use a regular furnace for it, which makes the process very slow and annoying. And I didn't have an auto smelter because I'm not smart enough to build one. I also didn't really have a surplus of fuel for it either. So even if I did have an auto smelter, it wouldn't have been very effective. But I did eventually build the entire house, as you saw, if you did watch the realm video. I don't know, maybe I'll unlist them. It is kind of a private realm thing. But then again, it got reset, so it's not much of an issue if it does. Okay, now I've fully gone away from the tutorial and turned this into just me placing glass for an hour. I'm probably gonna end recording because this is I've gotten distracted. Um, Slogo Worldwide, the first 2 or 3 floors, depending on if you're British or American. For an American, it's 3 floors. For a British person, it's 2 floors.